This video will be a bit different because I think that I never did a top list video ever. And as you can judge from the title, this will be a top 5 list of New World tarantulas that are beginnerish friendly, that are common, but also a must-have in any serious tarantula collection. This will of course be my personal choice, and everyone else can have their own personal favorites and personal opinions. But before we start with this video, pause this video, go down in the comment section and write your own top 5 list of beginner-friendly New World tarantulas that are must-have in every tarantula keeper collection. And also, it wouldn't be a proper tarantula video if we don't feed any tarantula, right? Right. Number 5. This is kind of the most obvious choice. Let me just set up the light. I forgot about that. And I need this camera. As always, it is of course the Brachypelma Himura. This right here is a juvenile male. And here I have a juvenile female, and this is actually the one that escaped a while ago, but thankfully it is back with us. You see how pretty she is, and she's a bit, as you can tell, I cannot really put them side by side or I can. You see that her color is a bit more intense when you compare it with the male, but that is not necessarily because she's a female and he's a male. You see that he's also smaller, and also that could be the reason why his colors are a bit more dim than hers. As you know, in the hobby, these tarantulas were used to call Brachypelma smithi, but recently, how can I explain it? Smart people that research tarantulas figured out that these species that we actually have in the hobby and call Brachypelma smithi are actually Brachypelma Himura. In the nature, Brachypelma smithi is still Brachypelma smithi, and in the nature, Brachypelma Himura is still Brachypelma Himura, but the tarantulas that were collected from the nature and thought to be a Brachypelma smithi are actually Brachypelma Himura. That's why name changed in the hobby. But in the nature it is still the same. At least that is my understanding of the things. There is a possibility that someone really has a real Brachypelma smithi in the captivity, but great majority are the Brachypelma Himura. So why I chose this Brachypelma in particular? Basically all Brachypelmas can fit this spot, but this one in particular is because when I was a little kid I had one encyclopedia, and in that encyclopedia you had one picture of tarantula, and it was only called a bird spider, and it was picture of this tarantula. So it kind of got a special place in my heart. But also to majority of hobbyists, I mean old school hobbyists, these were one of the first tarantulas that people kept. So of course that it needs to be on the list. Now let's feed it. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention it, they come from Mexico. Oh, what a miss. There we go. Brachypelma Himura feeding, the first one of the video, the first one in the video. But you see, really, really beautiful tarantula. I mean, come on, orange with black, really good combination. Let's now feed the male. The roach almost went under the cord bark. Sneaky, sneaky, but not sneaky enough for our Brachypelma Himura. Now let's move to number 4. Number 4 will be one Arboreal Tarantula. The first but not the last Arboreal Tarantula on this list. If you're a regular Dark Den viewer, you already know what tarantula is. What tarantula is inside of this enclosure. But it looks like we will need to lure it first to show it. Come outside. Show yourself. Will I need to poke you out? She got the stick. So that's the game you want to play. Look at the legs at least. Don't retreat. Yeah. Come. Please. Please. Show. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is... Oh, damn. Failed announcement. Let's try it again. This is caribena versicolor. She doesn't want to listen. Yeah, just a little bit more. Thank you. Here she is. She really doesn't want to cooperate. Well, at least you can see her big round abdomen. Yeah, and it's gone. So, caribena versicolor. Also the name changed, but this time it is a real change. This species used to be in Avicularia genus, so it was called Avicularia versicolor. Look at this. these hairs. And recently it got moved into a caribena genus, so it is called caribena versicolor. The reason for that is, I believe their articulating hairs, the hairs that they have on their abdomen, they use them for defense. They are a bit longer than in all other avicularias. I know it sounds like a minor thing, but when it comes to this stuff, that is like a huge deal. She usually is outside, but now she really wants to hide. I will just use the footage from other videos and you will be able to see her really nice. So they come from, just a second, I don't know all the information, Martinique in Caribbean Sea. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, that's from where they are coming from. I should also tell you the common names. So for Brachypelma Himura, the common name is Mexican redknee. And this one is called Eniola Tarantula. You know that I'm not a big fan of common names because, for example, red knee, it can cover a bunch of different Brachypelma species, and that's why common names aren't really that practical in all situations, especially when it comes to tarantulas, where you have really similar species and using common name can often be misleading. That's why scientific names are much more suitable for that situation. Let's try and fit this one. Here you go. Whoa. Yeah, that was kind of dark shot, but you see, boom, bam. The reason why this tarantula is on the list, in my opinion, it is one of the most beautiful arboreal tarantulas. And also the cool thing about them, when they are slinged, they start off with blue color. The slings, until maybe the size of this big, they will be like blue color. And then slowly, with each mold, they change their color. They change their appearance, and that is really cool to witness and to see how they develop. That is the biggest reason why it is on the list. So number 4. Let's move on to number 3. And the number 3 will be one dwarf tarantula, because dwarf tarantulas also need love. And also, this will be a sad update. Great, the camera cut off. And I did the whole section with this species. I believe it cut off just as I said that this will actually be a sad news, sad update. The number 3 on the list is Cyriocosmus elegans. And it is one of the smallest, at least from my experience, one of the smallest dwarf tarantulas. As you know, I had 2 slings, and at some point one of those slings matured, and that is actually this one. That happened maybe like a year ago, or maybe a bit less, but you know, once males matures, they do not live for that long. And especially when it comes to species like this one, where males mature extremely fast. It also matured in maybe a year, so that was also super fast. Just his time, and unfortunately that's the sad reality of having mature males. The other one, since it still didn't mature as a male, I assume that it is a female. She should be somewhere in her tunnel. You see her down there. And also you can see why this species is on the number 3 on this list. Let me try and get it outside on the open. Just a little bit. There. So you see on the abdomen, it is like a heart shape, and it is extremely cute and extremely cool. Look how it is already webbing up. What's up with that? You don't like me messing around with your burrow? Since they are tiny, they really do not take that much space. I really don't think that she will grow much bigger than this. Maybe I can get her out of my hand to show you better. Yes. You see how tiny it is, but what is awesome, you get it as a even tinier sling. Slings are maybe like this big. They will show mature coloration and patterns. They are growing really quickly, at least from that tiny size to this a bit bigger size. Still super tiny when you compare it with other tarantulas, but super cute, you can't argue that. The cuteness is actually the reason why it is on this list. And also I wanted to include one dwarf tarantula, and this is the first dwarf tarantula that I would recommend to anyone. Go inside. Thank you for your cooperation. They are from Venezuela and also Trinidad and Tobago. That's where they are from. I don't see the common name written, so I don't really know anything about that. But yeah, number 3. Let's move to number 2. And that will be also a tiny tarantula, but only because I have tiny slings. This is the psalmopoeus irminia. You see down there, small sling. And the reason why I have only small slings, the one that I actually raised was a male, and I gave it away to my friends for pairing. And later I received these slings from other friends. So that's why I can only show you slings, but I believe I can show you the pairing with my male. Hey, where are you going? That's why I only have small slings, but I believe I can show you the slings from Darko's female, and also I can show you when we paired his female with my male. I believe I have footage of that. I will also show you that so you can see how awesome they get. The reason why they are on this list, it's a black tarantula with orange details. What more do I need to say? It looks awesome, and also they are the only tarantula that I wouldn't recommend to a total beginner. All other tarantulas on this list can easily be a first tarantula, but these not that much because they are really fast, and on top of that they have a bit stronger venom than other New World tarantulas. Not as strong as Old World tarantulas, but stronger, so you need to be extra careful with them. Since they are fast, they can easily punish your mistake, and that's why you should really already know how to handle rehouses and other interactions with tarantula before getting any psalmopoeus species, not just irminia. But they are excellent stepping stone for more advanced tarantulas like any Old World tarantulas. Once you can manage them, you can probably manage any Old World tarantula. And the interesting fact regarding this species, unlike other tarantulas on this list, other New World tarantulas, they do not have the articulating hairs, the hairs that they kick from their abdomen for the defense. They don't have those, and that's probably the reason why they have a stronger venom. But definitely a well-deserved 4th place. Hey little buddy, you want to go back in? Yeah, thank you. And now let's move into number 1. If you are following me for some time now, you probably already know which tarantula will be number 1. It is, of course, the one and only, even though I'm really mad at her, and I already explained my reasons in recent video, she still deserves a number 1 spot, and that is of course chromatopelma cyaneopubescens. Definitely the one and only. If you're wondering why she is on number 1 spot, I actually need a better angle. Do you actually see this coloration? It is blue with freaking orange abdomen. Crazy good looking combination, and you see what it does with the enclosure. It webs up the entire place and makes it look like a real spider nest, what general population would expect to see in the spider enclosure. A lot of web. And that is what this species is giving. Now let's try to feed her, and then I will read some facts. Are you ready? Such a slow turn. Oh, sorry, that was in the dark. In the darkness. But look now when I shine some light. How good looking is that? Come on. Just crazy good looking. I adore how this species looks. And as I stated multiple times, if I could keep only one tarantula, this would be the species that I would keep. And I think that tells everything you need to know about that. The common name is green bottle blue, and it is from North Venezuela. All of my favorite tarantulas are from Venezuela. What is this? Funny that I didn't figure that out sooner. That's everything. Now I really wonder how my top 5 list compares with your top 5 list, but for that I will need to wait to upload this video. But I think that it will be kinda similar. Really curious. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you the idea of which tarantula species you need to get if you don't have some of these species. If you did enjoy this video, thumbs up and comment something, although you probably already commented your top 5. If you want to support this channel even more, there's a Patreon page. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload it Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so see you again soon. Bye!